Finals is a busy time, and everybody's playing wrap up. This is the time of year where staff members have a ton of stuff on their calendar, students have a ton of stuff on their calendar, and it's a busy time, but it's an exciting time because it's almost the end of the year. We had convocation yesterday, which is awesome. We have commencement coming up in a week or so. So it's a great time of year at USM in prepping, and then even starting to look forward to the next year is always fun too, that we can start making way for the arrival of new students and welcoming back our returners on campus.
Students are preparing by studying in groups, several are studying on their own. I have people come in who say that the space is crowded, though we still do have several empty tables. All the study rooms do tend to be full and fill up fairly quickly. If you get here first thing in the morning, you have your best shot.
I am preparing for finals by making sure I get some good sleep, doing all my work that's late, and then reviewing any old stuff.
Mostly just reviewing documents like note packets, things we do in class, important big assignments.
I'm preparing by just coming in the KLC more and having people around me doing work with me so I stay focused and not just coming in here dilly-dallying around.
There's a lot of collaboration on projects right now. I see a lot of study groups that are, I think, folks working through final exam review guides that they can do together. We've seen our tutors being used increasingly in the last 2 weeks or so, people partnering for tutor opportunities. That's really good. I'm hoping students take advantage of our tutoring services. I think crunch time, I think, is as things get closer to finals, people are hitting the books more, they're reviewing more content. So again, increased attendance in the KLC. Students preparing. I hope office hours are increasing with people getting in, talking with their professors more, although I don't know. I'm encouraging students to do that we work with, but I'm not able to see if that's happening or not.
I have noticed more people in the KLC, but not just like saying hey to each other, but really breaking down for finals and stuff like that.
So an atmosphere I've noticed is people seem more tired, a little bit more stressed out.
For me, they're more focus-oriented and more straightforward faces type of thing. Like no smiling as much like usual. But
The campus atmosphere always changes a little bit before finals week. People get a bit more intense. There's more people coming into the Kelleher Learning Commons. There's more demand for quiet in the space. And I see people who I haven't necessarily seen for parts of the rest of the semester.
I have noticed a change on campus. Recently, it feels like everyone's a little more rushed and a little more stressed right now.
It's interesting because on the one hand, like I've noticed that students are, some of them are resigned to what's happening and just plain tired, like they truly, it's almost like, you know, trying to run up a hill. Like you get to a point where you're either going to find the adrenaline or you're not. Those who are finding the adrenaline, I think, are really truly trying to make that final push and are seeking help and are, you know, basically it comes down to like asking for mercy, you know, and like, okay, so let's see what you've done so far and, you know, whether this is a real effort or if this is just, you know, begging, you know, which is not where we need to go. I think it's interesting to me because it's like the last month of the semester for first year students when they start to figure out what has worked and what hasn't for them. So I think there's that internal shift going on, and in a certain sense they stop fighting and they kind of lean into the process. So I think that's some of what's happening. I think my sophomores, juniors, and seniors, like if you take your class for example, people are seeing it more as a collaborative process. Like, okay, if I put in the work, will Dr. Quantz meet me where I am? And that's a dance that I'm willing to do because it's an adult process.
This time of year, and especially around finals, I always notice more people in the KLC. Study groups seem to be more prevalent around campus. I know there's some big projects going on in some courses, so I see more collaboration in study rooms. I think campus atmosphere during finals sometimes feels a little bit more tense because they feel high stakes and people feel like they've got to finish strong. So in prepping for finals, getting ready for that last push before the end of the year, there sometimes leads to a little bit more, not panicked, but this has to be done now and I got to get this done. So yeah, there may be a little shift in the atmosphere, just a little bit more busyness during this time of year.
Attendance is interesting because I've had better attendance in the last maybe 2 weeks other than athletic events, so like today.
In terms of attendance rates, these are 2 of our busiest weeks of the semester. Other than check-in weeks where everyone has to be here, finals week and the week before finals are our busiest times of the semester.
I am still attending my classes. A lot of them do take attendance and are requiring it, so I'm there.
But I actually enjoy going to class because I feel like I learn the most. And the only reason I wouldn't is if I'm waking up late.
There's 2 flip sides on this that sometimes I think folks tend to go to get to class really intently in the final couple weeks because they're making that last push. I want to make sure I get stuff done. I want to get this final information. So that may see it more folks making sure they get out and go to class. And then the flip side of that there may be like, oh man, it's the last week or so. I hope I'm going to be able to make this, but I'm not sure. So I'm sometimes there's a lot of stress that goes into finals in the final week, and I think a lot of stress sometimes comes with a lot of social, emotional stuff for students as well, and that can be sometimes difficult to get to class when you're having either a panicked moment or kind of a life crisis or a personal crisis.
Just making sure I'm getting up and doing what I need to do, like going through my normal routine and not overthinking it and just cracking down and doing what I need to do. Making sure like this is how it goes towards the end, like make sure I get everything done.
I just try my best to take some alone time, take some time to like get away from school and kind of everything that's goes along with school.
For the summer, I'm looking forward to being out in the sun, being with my family, and getting in shape, focusing on lacrosse, and just doing better in the off season. Especially with like now that I can focus on something like that and not have to worry about school stuff in the moment. So.
Summer, looking forward to getting some sun, getting in shape, having some more free time.
A lot of running and spending time with my family and friends.
I'm looking forward to just being home in California, enjoying the sun, enjoying my family, and enjoying life without the stress of school.
Being outside, not having class, working, and then just getting ready for football.
The spring finals week is the much more exciting one because we also get to help with preparations for graduation. So we were the lineup location for convocation, and it was great to see everyone dressed up in their robes and their caps and gowns. So it's a little bittersweet. It's great to be able to see everyone preparing and get to see all of the people I've gotten to see from their journey from freshman all the way to senior and get to celebrate their accomplishments.